day we have to come together today to talk about my favorite topic, angels and miracles. I have a very special guest here. I'm going to do the introduction and then we will get to talking.
Welcome to the Peapod. And just like the peas in a peapod, each human is here to have experiences that will contribute to the growth of all. Here at the Peapod, we will examine some of these experiences and glean the lessons learned, the truth uncovered, and come to a deeper understanding through our sharing. So grab your popcorn, get comfortable, maybe even a paper and pen, and get ready for an amazing time with your hostess, TeriAngel, a woman on a mission to bring change, especially in the arena of peace, into our world. And here she is.
And here I am with my beautiful soul sister, Karen Palmer. Karen, thank you for being with me today.
Thank you so much.
I'm so excited because I know that the angels have worked miracles in your life. And I know that we have been together for some of those miracles. And I'm so excited to have this talk with you today because I know that we are so connected in this lifetime. And I'm so grateful for that. I have two quotes I'd like to read before we get into a discussion because I think these are really going to help us to focus. Catherine Pulsifer said, "Some people think great miracles no longer happen. They no longer believe. But if they believed, their eyes would be open to them as they happen every day." And then there's a quote that we don't know who said it, but I love it. "Sometimes angels are just ordinary people that help us believe in miracles again." Oh, so Karen, I have seen both in my lifetime. I have
Yeah.
seen the angels and I have seen the earth angels that come in to help. And last week on the Peapod, I talked about some of the earth angels and the angels that came in and helped me at times of despair. So I am so excited because I would love to hear what you have to share to us about angels and miracles.
Well, I am so grateful for the angels. Um, I know that they have guided me and helped me to learn how to navigate being in this human condition and being in this experience as a human. And I feel really grateful that I'm able to hear the angels, see the angels, feel the angels, and I have my whole life. Um, when I was a little girl, I might have been about 4. I would say I was probably about 4 years old when I started to be able to verbalize that. Called them the sparklies, and I would see them form the formations of the angels in the sky and explain, to my mom and dad that that was happening. And I was told very quickly to don't say that out loud. Don't tell people that you're seeing angels. And so I learned kind of quickly that it wasn't really acceptable in this human experience. And so I'd have to say that, that was when I started to just feel like I needed to try and fit in this world. And as I said, I needed to navigate what was happening, and being able to connect with the angels my whole life. Um, I've been able to see more clearly why I'm here. First of all,
Mhm.
um, I know that we're all here to learn how to be as one and to live in the experience of absolute oneness, and to learn how to be an expression of perfect love, and also to be a recipient who experience perfect love from our creator, and then be able to ripple that and to expand it and to be able to, blow the doors off of all the fear with love, and being, learning how to speak on behalf of spirit has been a challenge. And it's been, an opportunity for me, and many, many opportunities that I can see throughout my life, that I was not comfortable sharing my
Mhm.
gifts, and felt very much like it wasn't safe to share my gifts. And so the angels helped me, really, really helped me to get more confident and feel more safe in this experience as being a human. And has, along the way, it's been, amazing to really witness all the beautiful beings that have left their physical forms, that are no longer here on this physical plane, but work through me and are so, so powerfully present in my heart, that I can comfortably speak now with authority, that eternal love and eternal life is forever and is real, and it's the most real thing that we can experience.
Mhm.
And I really believe that when we wake up and we recognize that we've been duped, we've been programmed, we've been conditioned only by people who didn't believe themselves, um, we can have more understanding for people who are deep in the dream, that are completely, lost in the illusion, and really believe that this is real, really believe that this is a real, yeah, this is all I get. This is all I get. This body is all I get. Like, um, that's one of the most, I think, dangerous things that people can have, is the belief that they are only their body. That I can't even imagine feeling that way, and how scared I would be if I
Mhm.
actually believed that was true. Because I know with all my heart and soul that we are spirit first. And yeah, we have a body. Yeah, we have a mind, but that body and that mind is a communication tool. And it's an opportunity for us to free ourselves first. We need to free ourselves of the illusions, of all of the experiences that have been conditioned and programmed into us, letting go of the false selves, the false ones that I made, the false little ones that I have used since childhood to feel safe. I never felt safe, until really just very recently, where I completely woke up and completely chose to stay awake, and not just keep going back into the dream, and not just keep going back to sleep, and not just keep, you know, appeasing others to fit in. You know, we're here to wake up. We're here to live as absolute oneness. We're here to experience it first for ourselves. And when we heal our own mind, because what it is we believe, and I believe, I guess I can only speak for myself when I say we, but I believed that I needed certain things in this world to be able to function and feel safe and protected. Once I realized that this world is an illusion and this world is not my home, I realized that I actually have always had that feeling of absolute security and absolute safety, but I was always trying to prove it. I felt like there was this little part of me, this little false part of me that was always trying to prove that I had these gifts. You know, it started in my teen years, especially because I was in an abusive relationship. And in that relationship, the angels really came through for me. They really came through. They really explained to me that I did not need to be in this experience, that I was choosing this experience, and that I could choose again. I could choose to, you know, to respect myself, and that this person who was abusing me was just a reflection of the false beliefs that I had about myself. And so, you know, learning how to feel those angels and letting them guide me and not feeling like I know what to do as the body mind that feels like it knows something. I just kind of started to just step back and let love lead. And
Mhm.
when I did that, you know, I got out of that abusive relationship. I made positive changes for my life, and I knew that the angels were teaching me how I was going to be able to hold these frequencies for the entire creation, for all of life, especially animals and nature. See, my whole childhood, I heard the trees. I just like the Lorax, you know, just like the stories that you hear. I connected with the animals. I was able to really experience a complete unconditional and mutual respect and trust with animals at a very young age. I was, you know, learning how to um, I just felt so safe when I was with animals and in nature. And the truth is, when we are truly, truly centered in to our spirit, and we are eternal presence, eternal grace, nothing upsets us. And everything brings joy. And everything, because what it does is it reflects that joy that's inside.
Mhm.
And so now I know I will never, ever have an experience where somebody abuses me, because that energy was a false belief in me. And now that I know, you know, truly, truly know spirit and know how to, you know, really be at peace with that harmony that's in my heart, I just look back with so much respect and gratitude that I came through that experience. And I can now know that I will never I will never have to have that experience again, because I know what perfect love is now.
Mhm.
And now that I understand what it is, I don't need the contrast. I don't need the polarity. I don't need the experience of seeing its opposite, because in truth, in reality, there is no opposite to perfect love. And when we are that, when we are that perfect love, and we can completely express it, completely extend it, completely radiate it like the sun, with no discrimination on every being, on every beautiful part of creation, then you're in complete, absolute safety. There's a protection beyond anything that can. Well, that it's the same thing as what I was saying about, if we believe we're a body, if we believe we are a body and a mind, and we're limited to this experience as the body and mind, we go, I'm going to eat and drink and be merry, for tomorrow we die. That is the epitome of the illusion. It's not about, this is what's so powerful. It's not about even how much time we have in the physical form. And for our animals too. It's not about how much time we have with our animals in the physical form. Once you have that perfect love, that perfect feeling, it's eternal. It never changes. And our human love, it's always changing. It's up, it's down, it's hot, it's cold. It's like the Katy Perry song, you're up and you're down, you're hot and you're cold. You're in and you're out, and it's like, but this perfect love, this divine love, once you really know that you are that, the game's over.
Yeah.
There's no more playing around in the illusion of separation and specialness and suffering and sacrifice. It's all, the angels have made it so clear, so clear. And I know that, Terri, you feel the same way. The angels have made it so clear to lighten up, have a whole heart and a whole mind filled with spirit, filled with love, and none of the other stuff has any room to be anywhere, because it's so true.
It is so true, Karen. And yeah, and the angels say that we complicate things.
Yes.
I don't know
We
why.
humans love to complicate.
Um, yeah. So, there may be those out there, Karen, that are still immersed in that energy of being in an abusive situation. And maybe they're listening to the words today, and you are on the other side of that. I'm on the other side of that. I've been through that many times in my life, where there's been physical abuse, mental abuse, emotional abuse. So, to anyone that's out there that may be listening to this now or on the replay, and you're thinking, I don't know how to get out of that situation. I don't even know where to start. Because I remember, Karen, when I was so immersed in it, you don't feel like you have any way out. You feel like this is what it is, and feeling stuck in the fear. So how can we help people that may be in an abusive situation? Some don't even realize they're being abused. Some are just like gaslighted, where they're, they're made to believe that they are the ones that are the problem. And so how can we offer something to people that is a lifeline that can say, um, you don't have to continue this way? What is there anything that we can offer as guidance and help
Well,
people see the
what
light?
I would offer as guidance is to first and foremost, just first and foremost, take responsibility. And this is not blame, but the ability to respond. Take responsibility that you have abandoned yourself, that nobody could abuse you. There's no way that anybody could abuse you if you hadn't abandoned yourself first. That's the most important thing, to come back to yourself, come home to yourself, come home to your own true heart, and ask yourself. I mean, I was in an abusive relationship for 6 years.
Mhm.
Ask yourself, why am I staying? Why am I doing this? And what is the real reason that I am allowing this to happen? Because, and yes, I think it's so important to, have support outside of the relationship. So always reach out to, the organizations that are in place that can help. But I feel like the most important thing to start with is coming home to yourself. Because when you come home to yourself and I think about it so often. What does that mean, to come home to myself?
Mhm.
What it means is, there's a place inside of you where nothing can be disturbed and where you're completely at peace. And when you get to that place, you would never let somebody abuse you. You would never allow yourself to stay in a position where you were not being treated with the utmost respect. And that's how I am now. I won't tolerate that. I won't I will not accept it, not just for myself, but for the person who wants to be the abuser. Because when we are not letting people get their own lessons, and we try to think that we're, helping somebody, and we think that you're gonna, I'm gonna stay with this person because if I stay with this person, they're gonna get better, and I love this person, and I think I need to, sacrifice myself. When you are in that position and you have made that decision to sacrifice yourself, know that you've stepped away from your true self. You've completely stepped away, and you've abandoned your true, authentic self. And that's when you really need to get some help. That's when you really need to go to an organization, to a local, shelter, and first of all, have conversations with other women who have been through what you've been through, so that you know that there is a light at the end of the tunnel, and you can um, be in a place where you can really, really open up to share your own experiences, but also to know that there's always a place to be safe.
That's important. And, it's not just women.
Oh,
Abuse
yeah.
happens all over the spectrum,
Yeah.
women, men, children. Um, so I love what you said, Karen. Know that you're more important than that. And it's finding your power again. It's going inside and saying, I don't deserve this. I deserve happiness. I deserve joy. And Karen, I know that there have been many times when I was in an abusive relationship that the angels were the ones holding me and saying, you don't deserve this, and trying to help me to find that power place inside of me again, to say, you know what, you're right. There's more to life than this. And I'm not here for this. I'm not here for just to be torn down and not have a voice. And I think that's what a lot of people who are in the long-term relationships where it's happening over and over again, the voice is just stuck, and you don't see how you can speak up because of consequences of saying something
Yeah.
or the action. When I left one of my abusive relationships, I had to do it with sneaking and planning, so much planning to know that exact moment. And the angels really helped with that. The exact moment when I could get out the door and had people lined up to support me, a place to go. So things like that, the angels are really able to help guide and put people in place already so that
Absolutely.
it's already there.
Absolutely.
Yeah, this is the power of our angelic help that we have.
And that's what I mean also when I was saying that we're being called home. The angels call us home from our true heart. And if you're listening, but if you're distracted and you're listening to outside forces and I was a shell of a person. Like as far as a person goes, I was terrified. I mean, terrified to speak about anything.
Yeah.
And so it took a lot of healing in my mind for me to know that. And I know that people will take this the wrong way sometimes, but I didn't feel worthy. I didn't feel valuable.
Right.
And he was just a reflection of showing me that. And it's a pattern. And it happens in we have to just be gentle with ourselves in knowing that we're the common denominator. And you know what I love to say about my life from that point forward, from my teen years and into my 20s and into my 30s, and now I'm 40s and 50s. And what I learned from that experience itself, I kept allowing a certain amount of abuse, but there was a big part of me that wouldn't allow certain you couldn't cross this line with me. There was a line that I would not. And so I feel like that's a gift, when we're listening to our inner guidance, we're listening to our inner wisdom. And yeah, we are allowing people to be a little bit abusive, but we're stopping and saying certain things are not acceptable, not allowed, and not going to be. And now I realize at this point in my life, none is acceptable.
Right. Yeah.
it's you're in you can you can ask yourself all that you want to ask yourself these questions, but the truth is none is acceptable.
Right.
It
Yeah,
should we should always be treated with respect.
exactly. And when we are in touch with our power, becoming empowered again, then we know that. We,
Yeah.
like you said, Karen, it's like, no. And I like Julie Kiss. Thank you for being on with us. And Julie says, if it doesn't feel good in your gut, get out. And I so agree with that. We learn through every experience that we've had. And so when you're ready to take your power back, the angels are right there saying, let's go. You know, let's go. We will find that way for you. We'll pave a way. We'll have the people in place that can help you in that situation.
Yeah, and that's exactly how it happened, you know?
Yeah.
And so, like, as I was saying, more and more, you know, as my false beliefs were healing, as my idea of what love was and what a relationship was looked like, you
Mhm.
know, I know I don't like to go into a lot about the past, um, but if it's something that I feel can be useful and helpful, I, will look on it with spirit and ask, like, what how would you have me see this? How would you have me see this? And I think that when we, look back in our childhood, my parents were abusive to each other, extremely abusive to each other. My friend who I ended up becoming, r having a relationship with, I was 11 years old when I started being friends with this man, and we ended up starting to date when I was 15, and we dated up until I was 21. And his family, he saw his dad pull a gun on his mom, and the abuse and the violence is a pattern.
Mhm.
It's
Yes.
a cycle that needs to be broken. And
Right.
so when I got pregnant and I got married and I was in a relationship with my husband and my daughter, I swore I would not repeat that cycle. And I didn't. And I have a 27-year-old daughter, and she would never allow herself, not even 1 second of abuse.
Mhm.
But see, my sister and I talk about this a lot sometimes because we are being gentle with our experiences because we did choose patterns and we chose men that were just like our father,
Yeah.
and you do that unconsciously. You do that, and until you are fully awake and fully aware, you will continue to have those patterns. And so what I'm trying to say, when somebody is in a situation, the most important, I think you said what was the most important thing, and I would say the most important thing, that if this relationship is happening, is to look at the patterns.
Mhm.
Look with gentle eyes at the patterns, at the way that it how did you see your relationships? And do you find that at this point in your life that you have self-respect and self-honor and self-awareness,
Yeah.
that you won't allow any abuse? And I mean any abuse. I mean even somebody, saying something hurtful. I believe that if somebody says something hurtful, they're hurting, first of all.
Mhm.
And it's like playing ping pong, If they say something hurtful and I'm in that reactive mode, I'm gonna hit that ball back harder. And then they're gonna hit that ball back harder, and it's gonna turn into a volley where we are just saying the most horrible things to each other. But when I take that ball and I put it in my hand and I look at that person and I say, "No more. I know that you must be hurting so much to continually be saying these hurtful things, the game is over and it stops right there. And you've taken your power back.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, that pattern of abuse, many times people get caught up in what's known as the cycle of abuse, where the person that is abusing, it may be any form. It could be, like you were just saying, the mental, the emotional, words hurt, and it could also be physical. And then they're like regretting. So there's an apology. I'm sorry. I'll never do it again. If I had a dime for every time I've heard those words in my life, I would be a rich woman right now. But this is part of the cycle. It's like, there's the acting out part of the either speaking it verbally or using physical force. And then I'm so sorry. And Karen, I don't know about you, but in my life, I've received lots of jewelry as here, let me show you how nice I am and how much I love you. And so I'm going to buy you all of this pretty things and see how good I am. And that's a part of the cycle. That's a
Yeah.
part of how you get really caught up in, oh, well, he'll change or she'll change, or the situation is not as bad as I thought it might be, because look at what I have, all this beautiful stuff. So there's known as the cycle of abuse. And when we're aware of it, I wasn't aware of it.
No,
I didn't know that,
I didn't know
this
either.
happens universally. It's like,
I didn't know either. And that's where I say that we need to be gentle with ourselves,
yeah,
because when we look back over different experiences and different relationships, and we, are being gentle with ourselves, we can really, really learn how to have that self-respect and have that self-awareness, and again, break the cycle with your child or your niece or your nephew or anybody who's in your life that you see them, in a cycle of abuse. You have the ability to be a voice for love,
mhm,
and you have that ability to, reach out to them and say, like, what I, a lot of the, because I teach yoga, and a lot of the teenagers that would come into the class, they wanted somebody to hear their story. They wanted somebody to listen to them, because they are seeing that this doesn't feel good. And so to be able to be a safe place for somebody to land, is such an honor. And I really believe that when we go through an experience that is painful, that has been difficult, that it's really an opportunity for us to share it so that we can help others. To, first of all, a teenager, you want to help that teenager. You want to help that you oh shoot, can you hold on? Wait, I can't take that right here. I'll let them just let me. I'm sorry about that. But to be able to let them, experience knowing that somebody really cares about them and wants for them to not have to have a difficulty, and
right,
wants to prevent them from going into the potholes that we went into, you
right.
know,
Touching
just,
the hot stove.
yeah, touching the hot stove,
Right,
exactly.
right.
So I think it's really important that when we do have these experiences, that we share openly with a heart of surrender.
Yeah.
When we share this openly, we share it from a place of, I can really, really see you. and I see your beauty and I see your grace and I see that you don't deserve any abuse.
Mhm.
And the whole planet, I want to just say it for the whole planet. Nobody deserves any abuse on this planet.
Right. Yeah. And Karen, I think sharing our stories, it brings us to that place of being an earth angel for somebody else.
Yeah.
They may not have anybody in their life that treats them with that respect and mirrors back to them their magnificence.
Right.
They may be just caught up in people who might be pitying them, or, oh, you poor thing, you've got another black eye, and people don't know how to help somebody that's in a situation that's so fearful. But if we can share, I'm on the other side of that. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I put up with the abuse because I didn't know that I didn't have to.
Right.
And we could be that earth angel for others, that maybe they
Absolutely.
can see the results on the other side when you do take your power back.
Absolutely. And I love what Jean Walensky has said here, standing in your loving personal power in this now is the light vibration that pulls others to step forward and break the pattern.
Yeah.
So true. So true. Standing in your loving personal power. Exactly. Standing in that eternal grace. And, it's so beautiful. Thank you for sharing that, because it's so important. I do believe, and that's why I teach. That's why I've been in the schools, and that's why I teach. You know, kindness and compassion and understanding, because when you truly, truly love yourself, when you truly appreciate and have that self-awareness,
Mhm.
you won't let somebody treat you badly.
Right.
You just won't do it. And actually, I want to say nobody will want to treat you badly,
Right.
because you're not giving off that vibration. You're giving a vibration of, I respect myself, and if you are going to be in my constellation, then you're going to be respectful. I deserve respect. You deserve respect. That's what absolute oneness is.
Yes.
Absolute oneness is no one is inferior and no one is superior. We are all the same. We are all one light, one love. We are all one experience of the expression of love. And so if I'm the expression of love and you're the expression of love, and somebody is inferior and somebody is superior, there isn't perfect love there.
Right.
There's fearful love and
Mhm.
there's perfect love. And
Yeah.
perfect love takes all fear out of any denomination. It takes all fear out, and it just when you're in perfect love.
Yeah. They
And
can't reside together. Yeah. Love
it's
and
not
fear
with
can't be
somebody
together.
else. It's
Yeah.
not with somebody else. It's with
Right.
the entire universe.
Mhm. Right. Yeah.
It's, when we have this exclusive love where we think we have to, you know, compartmentalize. I love my daughter this way. I love my dog this way. I love my husband this way. I love my mother-in-law this way. I love my father this way. No, it has to be a universal love for it to be perfect love.
Mhm. Yeah. To just love, just like to just be, you
Just like
know.
I said, like the irradiating the sun. The sun doesn't discriminate where it's gonna shine. A rose doesn't choose who's gonna get to smell the fragrance, you know? It just is a rose.
That. That's great. Yeah. Just being our magnificent self. And, I never knew what that meant. growing up. I didn't know what that meant. And most of my adulthood, I thought I had to please other people. And so when we start pleasing ourselves and realizing our own power, that's when we set the boundaries that say
Right.
no.
And the angels also, I want to say, the angels also will help us and guide us to the people who need support and can use the miracle.
Yes.
Our feet will be sent in that direction, and we will start walking, and all of a sudden somebody who is, having a struggle, or somebody who, knows somebody who needs help, it just falls together like beautiful grace. It just falls into your lap. And that's what I really want to say about, have you had an angelic interaction? Have I had an angelic interaction? I want to just say that my entire life in this human body as Karen Palmer, this person, Karen, has had angelic interaction moment by moment in her life. But it's because I'm open to receive the help.
Mm-hmm.
And even in my darkest days, when I was homeless and when I had gone to a dark, dark place within myself, and I believed that I wasn't worthy, that I wasn't good enough, that there was no way that I was going to get out of this mess, the angels came in. They came into that dark place and they lit it up and said, you are going to come through this and you are going to help hundreds of thousands of people. And
Mm-hmm.
you are going to be able to share that there is light in everyone and
Yes.
that you can't put it out. You can ignore it.
Mm-hmm.
You can try and have it be beaten out of you. You can have it, you can stomp on it yourself. You can do self-judgment. You can, criticize it. You can criticize yourself, but you can't put that light out. And that light is the most powerful, I believe that's the most powerful frequency on the planet, is our light. And I believe that we have that web of light. I believe we have that web of love, and that we are humans having an experience and choosing moment by moment if we're going to add to the love and the light, or we're going to add to the illusion. And I really believe that we have an incredible opportunity when we come through the dark, when we've been in the dark and we know how difficult that dark side can be, we have to come back and
Mm-hmm.
share with
Yes.
our light. It's our nature.
We can't hold it inside.
It's our natural, it's our natural self.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Oh, so beautiful, Karen. This has been so amazing. And Julie says this, how beautiful this was to hear tonight. Thank you, Julie, for being here. And
Thank
Jean
you,
and
Julie.
little Pocky. Pocky has my heart. Sorry, is this beautiful lab. And so she's slurping the phone because she heard my voice. And that's how our angels are, our animal angels. They recognize angelic energy. And so yeah, thank
That's
you.
that perfect love, exactly what Jean said. And love and light always, Julie. We love you. Thank you, Julie. Yeah, absolutely. And this is what, this is why Terri and I'm, going to speak for Terri, because I know that this is the truth, because Terri and I do programs together. We chant together. We we join people together all the time because we know that love and light will lead us home. We know that light is the answer, and love has always been the answer to every question, no matter what the question is. Only love is real. Oh, yes, Auntie Jean, you've been a light to me.
Oh,
You've
Auntie
been
Jean, we love you.
Oh, you've been such a light. I was saying that, Terri and I did a meditation with Auntie Jean the other night when I was struggling with something that was going on in my personal life. And I felt, Auntie Jean, I felt that we all had that resurrection moment, all three of us in that moment when we were, giving it over. That's what it's all about is do the hokey pokey and turn yourself around. Because that's what love's all about is if it's not love, turn away from it. If it's not love, it's not real. Pay it no mind. If
Right.
it's love, you will want to dance with it. You will want to dance with it. You will want to sing with it. You will want to be in its presence all the time. But if it's not love, do the hokey pokey and turn yourself around. If, you know, because you deserve love and you deserve only love and light because that is what you are.
Yes, absolutely. And Karen, you are such beautiful love and a big light in this world. And I hope I got the email correct for you.
Yes, yep.
So this
And
is
you can
something we
also go to my
Karen.
website, globalkindnesstv.org, and hit the contact button. And that's another way that gets right to me also. But I would love to hear from anybody. And again, like I said, the angels, gave me the song. There are angels everywhere. They gave me that song at a very difficult time in my life, and they helped me remember that that is what is the truth. And if we just stay in the vibration of truth and love and light, we are protected by the law of love.
Yeah.
And that law of love, Terri and I were talking about it on the phone the other night. That law of love takes care of all the illusions, no matter what is going on in the land of make believe. And I'm so excited. My little book series that I'm writing right now, I'm writing a children's book series called The Giggle Effect. And it's going to be a family way for people to realize the absolute oneness and to experience that when we're not in the absolute oneness, when we're not in that perfect love, we need to giggle our way back and just laugh at the insanity of thinking that we could be separate from everything.
Yes.
How in the world could we be separate from everything? This is what this world wants us to believe. This is what the body, mind, ego thought system wants us to believe. It wants us to believe we are isolated. We've got to protect this body. We've got to get as much pleasure from it as we can. We've got to avoid as much pain. We don't want to deal with our feelings. I don't want to deal with my feelings. I just want to play and be happy and put on a happy face. But honestly, if you want to really know who you truly are, stay in your heart and stay blessed.
That's right. That's what the angels say.
That's it. I mean,
Absolutely.
and you bring it right there. Stay in your heart and stay blessed. And think about that in every moment when anything is upsetting you or you feel like you're caught in the illusion, or you feel like you're caught in somebody else's nightmare, somebody else's belief system, just stop, drop, and bless.
Absolutely. Karen, this has been such a beautiful, beautiful miracle to have you on with me today to talk about angels and miracles and our lives and how we're guided through our lives. And I hope that you all do reach out to Karen and get more of Karen. She's with me at night. Every night we talk about A Course in Miracles at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. We'd love to have you join in. And then afterward, we do chanting, which we've been doing for over 1,000 days together.
I
It's a
know, it's
beautiful
crazy.
experience. But
I
Karen,
love
thank you
seeing
so
you too, Miss Blue Jean. I love you,
much.
Miss Auntie. I love you, Auntie Jean, very, very much. And that's what I'm saying. Like what we talk about when we're here in the in the Peapod, when we're here in the incubator, we know what perfect love is. So if you know what perfect love is, all you need to do now is radiate it.
That's wonderful, wonderful words for us to leave on and for you to hold in your heart. Radiate it. And what does our Marietta say? We radiate it through our smile. Spirit magnifies incredible loving energy. That's what a smile is. So radiate it out and let spirit magnify it out into the world. It may be the only smile that somebody sees during the daytime when you smile at them. Thank you so much. I have an announcement. There will not be a Peapod next Tuesday. You all know that I'm getting ready in a
Oh,
few days to
yes.
have this beautiful retreat in Sedona. And so I will not be here on Tuesday to do the Peapod. But the following week, we have a very special guest on to talk about angels and miracles. And that is our Auntie Jean Lorio. I'm so excited to have her come on with me and share the miracles in her life and see what the angels guide for that discussion. Today has been amazing. Thank you, Karen. It's been so beautiful. And anyone that wants to come in and share your miracle experiences or your life experience and how the angels have helped you, let me know. You can be in one of these little squares that you see us in. We love you so much. And as with any of my shows, we end with
Namaste,
namaste,
y'all.
y'all. Bye, everybody. Have a great rest of your day or night, wherever you are. Bye now. And thank you for